Hey there folks, blokes, and stoked out of chokes, it's me, your favorite Minecraft tasser. I'm never gonna say that again, but, alright, so, a week or so ago, a while back, I finally finished the sub 30 tasks of Minecraft, finishing in 29.19 seconds, and that's pretty fast, extremely fast actually. I've never could have dreamed that to be possible, and it's really confusing, it's really hard to look at, like, it's crazy. I couldn't even tell you just by looking at it. And so I'm going to be breaking it down pretty much frame by frame today, just so you can kind of get like what's going on, why do I do what I do, and what I'm even doing, because it's just going super fast. I played the whole game in 1/40th the speed. The normal game was at 20 ticks per second. I was playing in 0.5 ticks per second. I'm going to open up Minecraft. I have it open here, voila, so I can show some things later. But normal game runs at 20 ticks per second. I was playing in 0.5 ticks per second. This is how slow I was playing for the whole thing. And so when you speed that up, it looks pretty fast. In fact, extremely fast. Then if I can get that back to normal speed real quick. Alright. So yeah, okay. First things first. Here I have the whole thing open. Pretty simple. I'm just going to be going through this. First things first. First thing I do in the task is I go and grab some sticks from this dead bush, because you need sticks to make things. That's pretty basic, except breaking wood, it takes like 4 seconds or something, 3 seconds I think, just with your fist, and that's super slow. Breaking a dead bush is pretty much instant, but unfortunately here, instant isn't fast enough, because this little bush right here, this hitbox, it's in the way. What is it called? A crop. It's literally in the way. I go over here to this place right over here. This is where I spawn. You'll see that, like, you can't even reach it until you get over here. And that's this far to move before I can break the bush. That's wasting time. And so by breaking the bush, I can reach it faster and get there as soon as possible. On that note, however, it's kind of a weird spawn to pick, where I spawn on this block right there, this one that you see right over here, this yellow one. But this red that you see right here, this is all the possible spawns. Obviously I wouldn't want to pick one over there, because whatever. But it would probably make more sense to pick the closest one to the blacksmith or whatever. I chose this one just because it's close enough to the bush, but also closer to there. I don't know, I don't know. I don't think it really makes much of a difference between this block and this one, or this one, but I thought it was the best choice for this particular thing. Whatever, I don't know. So, first things first, go over here, break the crop, break the bush, and then we go over and start breaking the sand pretty much instantly. We need sand for pretty much the biggest glitch in this entire task, but we'll worry about that when we get there. These sticks, grab them up right there, and then breaking the sand, beautiful. Important to note right about now, or for the rest of the task really, is that all blocks in Minecraft, once they're broken, they have like half a second where you can't pick them up. Like they're just, you have to wait. If you throw an item on the ground manually, then that's 2 seconds. This one where you break it normally is half a second, 10 ticks. Or if they're pushed by a piston they break, it's like 9 ticks, so like 0.45 seconds. Or if they come out of a chest, the item's in a chest, and you break the chest, those items you can pick up instantly. And that's something that I'm going to use a bit in this run. But we'll get to there when I get there. So I break the sand so I can cook it later to get glass, because you need glass for later in the run. I'm over here and I break the wool. Any other Minecraft tasks that you've ever seen pretty much will never get wool for 1.9. 1.8 and below, you do that because you need to make beds to kill the dragon. But this case, we don't need to do that because we have the other dragon skip glitch, which I'm sure you've heard of. If not, I'll get there when I get there. But I'm using wool for a few different reasons. There's a bunch of reasons that I use it in this task, but this is the only wool I can find. This is the wool that we get. We also grab the torches. Torches will be used for another trick later on, but I'll get there when I get there. So as soon as I pick up those items, I start duping them. Typically in Minecraft tasks, you'll see like the duping with a chest or by throwing things on the ground and picking them back up. Now, those are great dupes, and they work perfectly fine, but they're really slow. When you throw an item on the ground, as I said earlier, you have 2 seconds where you can't pick it up, and so you have to wait 2 seconds every single time you dupe an item. And you double it each time, but you have to wait 2 seconds, and that's really slow. In this case, I actually do the duping glitch, but I only do the last half of it where I save the game and then I reload, and so it keeps my inventory the same, but it respawns the items in the air. I don't rethrow them to dupe. I don't know how to explain it, but pretty much I do the last half of the dupe over and over again, so I just increase my items by 1 every single time instead of doubling them, because doubling them takes long, except to throw the items back out on the ground each time, and I don't have time for that because this is sub 30. So I just do that a few times. I get to 8, I believe, yep. And then I start using the wool. Now, this isn't why I get the wool. The wool has more than one purpose, but I use it to place right over here. If you've never played Minecraft before, or if you've never speedrun Minecraft, you probably would know this if you weren't, though. Every time you jump, you get a little bit of a speed boost. I don't know how much the speed boost is, but you get a little bit of a speed boost. And so the more you jump, the more you get speed. You basically build up speed. And so you always want to maximize the amount of jumps you have when you're playing. So in this case, the way we get the most jumps is by placing blocks right above me so I can jump really fast all through here. You'll see when I play this normally speed, you can just jump over and over again pretty much instantly. You can see right down in the corner where it says space. Every time it says space, that's me jumping, so you can jump pretty much instantly after you jump again. And that just gives you a bunch of speed. Now, we go through here, over here, and the interesting thing about this is that it actually saves more time to look behind me, turn completely around, do a whole 180, place a block, and then keep on jumping, and that actually saves time. And that's pretty funny to me. But anyway, so we end up in the blacksmith. Typically, in the 38 task, or the 51 task, or the 135, 95-second task, the one that was really crazy popular, they all get gravel. And gravel's cool and all. Well, they don't get gravel, they get flint. They get flint from the gravel. And flint is used to make fires and stuff, and other things. And you'll notice that I don't actually get any of that in this task. I just go right for the wool, and then I go right over to the village. And I'm not waiting to get it later, I just don't get any flint in this run. Flint is cool and all, but it takes like 3/4 of a second to break. And if I waste that time, then suddenly it's barely sub 30 anymore. And we can't be wasting time like that, it's just not worth it. And so instead, I just skip it, and we'll figure out how to light portals later. So we use the wool, we get over here, bada boom bada bing, and we go over here, and we start burning the stuff. I'm going to put the sand in the furnace. The furnace takes 10 seconds to cook sand, or whatever you have, and so the issue with that is it takes 10 seconds. It takes like 10 seconds is a really long time, and that means that we need to get the sand in the furnace as soon as possible, which is why we don't stop for flint or whatever. And as you see right here, you can see where the frame counter is or whatever. I get that sand in there at 4.9 seconds, meaning we can't even exit the overworld until 14.9 seconds, 10 seconds after this. Otherwise, what will happen is it just won't be ready and we just can't enter the nether, because we need the glass for the end of the run. So that's unfortunate, but just by getting the sand in there as soon as possible, we can figure that out. Now, in any other task, usually I'll dupe the sticks, or I'll dupe some wood over here, but obviously wood takes a long time to break, so we won't be doing that in this task. Typically I'd use sticks. Now this time I don't dupe any sticks, and so, because to save 0.05 seconds, because it takes a tick to dupe items. Don't do that in this case. Actually, it wastes a lot more time, because you'll see, you can only dupe an item once you pick it up. And in this case, you'll see I don't pick up the sticks until I'm right here. I've already broken half the sand, so I have to restart that whole thing if I want to dupe the sticks, and so it's just wasting like half a second. I don't want to do that, and so I don't. So instead, we elect to use the wool, which is the only thing to burn the sand here. So we do that, which works fine. You also see that I put in there wool in the furnace, and I take it back out, do some Alt F4ing, whatever, to dupe the wool. And as you can see, I have more wool in my inventory, and that's pretty cool. I'm duping while I'm running over there, like I'll jump over, and when I'm in the air, I'll pick it up pick it up so I'm not wasting time just standing still. I don't know. This whole part is just really confusing, and I'm sorry if I'm doing a poor job of explaining it. So as you can see, we're placing the wool above our heads so we can get that extra little boost. But at the same time, we're duping the wool in order so we have building blocks, and we'll also use the wool to build our stuff. We use wool for a few different causes. You'll see I place another one over here, if I can get a little bit more area, and then I open this chest. This chest is the basis for every single set seed, any percent run that you'll see ever. It has all the stuff we need. It has iron, what's this called? Obsidian, the sword, apples if you need them, whatever. And we're just going to be duping all those items using the chest dupe. Even though it's slow, it's the fastest way that we can dupe in this case, because there's here. If we go over here, break this, and we have 0.5 seconds, and then we can start duping it. Use that time to walk from where the pole is all the way over to there. So I use that time while I'm waiting to go over there. In this case, if we were to break this chest or do anything else, or take them out and throw them on the ground, it could be 2 seconds or whatever. We don't have that kind of time. There's nothing to waste time doing. And so it ends up coming out to be faster to just dupe them in the chest. Now, a cool thing about chests that I've been learning throughout the past year or so that I've been making these tasks, the 90% tasks, the 51, the 38, and now the 29, is just how weird chests are. You'll see here that I don't actually do anything. I just kind of go in there, put my mouse over those 2 items, and then close out. Nothing happens. But when I open it back up, you'll actually see that it's already stacked up all nicely for me. And that's not cheating or whatever. That's literally what happens. You can do that. You can press escape at the same time that you move items, and you'll just close the chest, and when you open it back up, the items will be moved. Pretty neat little thing. Saves about 1 tick every time I have to open and close a chest. So that saves a lot of time through the task, really. It's phenomenal, really. Yeah. And then also you'll notice that I moved 2 different items. Like, this isn't something that you can do normally at once. Like, you'd have to pick up the items, put them back down, do the double click thing, and do it again for the other ones. And that would take, like, you had to pick it up, put it back down, pick it up, put it back down, do the other thing with the other thing. That's like, I don't know, a lot of ticks. Like half a second worth of ticks. And you can actually do it in 1 tick. It's pretty difficult, and I spent like 10 minutes trying to get it to work at all correctly. But you can totally do that in 1 tick. And then, that happens. I go in here, open it back up, take it out, do that same thing where you grab the items and you close out the chest at the same time. And basically start duping things. We dupe everything once. So we dupe all the items that we have for 4 iron and 8 obsidian, and then I don't put the iron back in there to dupe again. Instead, I just start duping the obsidian once. And then, so I end up with 16 obsidian and 4 iron. So we dupe the iron twice. Once, so we have 4 iron, but we dupe the obsidian 3 times, so that we go from 4 to 8 to 16. That's just the way we do that. And then we do a soft dupe, where we only dupe, where instead of doubling the items again, we just triple it from the last dupe. So instead of going from 16 to 32, we go to 24, and we go from 4 iron to 2 iron. That's really weird. Probably didn't understand that. I don't understand what I was saying, but that's what we do. That's what happens. As you can see here, 24 obsidian, 6 iron, iron sword. Still have 5 more wool left, and we have 2 6. That's that part. Weird stuff. Anyway, now we're over here. We're still waiting for our glass to smelt. It's still cooking away. Cooking keeps going through dupes, believe it or not. I didn't believe it for a while, but it turns out that it does, and that's super cool, and that makes me happy. We use our last wool. Not our last wool, we still have 4 left, but we need all those 4 for something later on. We put that there so we can get a little bit more of a boost. Then we start using obsidian for building blocks, because obsidian's cool and all, and we have lots of it because we just duped a bunch. From here, we start breaking this window. We could go in through the door, whatever, but that's slow and we don't have time for that. So we just break through the window and start crafting things through this table. I'm going to go into Minecraft real quick to show you. This is the block we placed. This is the thing we grab. We come in through over here. We stop right about here. If I were to go into survival mode, if I can type, sorry, this is pretty much as close as you can get to this and still being able to, like, I'm right here and I can't touch that crafting table. All you can even zoom in, like, you just can't even barely get close. This is about where I am in the task. Pretty much as close as you can get to the crafting table and still be able to grab it. It's very tight. You can't even barely even tell. It's very precise. But anyway, that's where I'm landing. Just a little bit of trivia. In creative mode, you can just reach it from like 7 years away, because I don't know. But anyway, that's what happens. I don't know where all this was. Yeah, okay, so back to the task. Break the glass. In any other task, you'll see me actually jump from over here to the ledge so I can stand there and grab the crafting table whenever. But if I wasn't aware of it at the time, like, I knew it happened, but I wasn't conscious of it because everything takes forever when you're playing in slow motion, that it actually takes longer to break glass when you're in the air. And so I make sure not to be jumping, even though you want to jump as much as you can in this game. To go fast, I don't jump right in this area, so that I can stay on the ground and break this glass as fast as possible. Let me start crafting items. I use the crafting little book for all this, because crafting with the book is super fast. All we have to do is click on the item and then click over here, and we craft it in 2 ticks. Everything we crafted in 2 ticks, as long as it's on the screen. Normally what we'd have to do is you have to pick up the item, place it down one by one, and then grab it, and that's at least 3 ticks. Sometimes up to like 5 or 10 or whatever. It can be insane. So instead, I just use this. The issue with the book, however, is that you have to press this button, and press this button, you have to go over here. There's like 2 ticks they have to waste right just doing that. And so I combine them into this one thing where you'll see my mouse kind of goes weird. Goes from here, clicks the button, and goes over here and clicks again. That's because I press this button, and then in the same tick I press over here. And if I press right there, then I press this button and that button at the same time, so I can instantly get a check mark. Check mark, sorry, just makes it so I don't have all the extra items that I can't craft clogging up the area, so I can't reach these items without scrolling, because scrolling takes a long time. Just a little bit of info, because you need to save as many ticks as possible. It's a matter of ticks for this task, which I don't think you can ever say with a Minecraft task. So I craft a bucket, and then I craft an axe. That's what I needed the sticks for. That's why I got the sticks to get the axe. And then I quit out. This is also where not getting flint saves time, though. It's kind of weird, but flint and steel doesn't actually show up over here. With most items, if I have it in my inventory, here's a good example. Like, you have to scroll through all these things to find the items that you want. Let's go like this, and I can craft everything. If I were to have iron and some flint, let's see if this, alright, recipe, take, alright, you'll see I don't get the recipe instantly just by picking up iron and flint, so I have to actually make this manually. And that takes 1, 2, 3 ticks. So we save 3 ticks plus the 3/4 of a second from not grabbing the flint. I don't know if that really makes sense. You have to actually pick up a flint to unlock the crafting table little code for flint. Or maybe it's worse than that. I don't even know. I don't even know how you get that recipe, actually. I have no clue. But you can't just use the book for a flint and steel. And so I have to craft it. Normally that's 3 extra ticks that would go right down the drain. We've nearly saved a second just by not grabbing any flint. And so we do that, and then instantly I start breaking this plank over here, because we still haven't gotten any wood yet, and we need some wood for some items that we're going to make in a second. So we break this block. It takes half a second to break this block, and then it takes another half second to wait for the item to fall and pick it up, because of that 10-second rule, 10-tick rule thing, whatever that I was talking about earlier. I don't want to waste that time. I want to capitalize on this extra time that I have. And so I start making the portal to the nether. Placing a block every tick, as fast as we can, as many as we can. We can't really place any more blocks, or else they'll get in the way. Turn over here, wait a few ticks, pick it up, and then we start duping it. We dupe it a bunch. As I said, we have until 14.9 until we can actually go to the nether, so I can do all 11 planks just because I can. It's not just so I can though, it's so I can make a chest. As you can see, that thing I was talking about earlier, when you can do multiple things in a single tick, it's really cool. Do that here to bank the chest instantly, another black bar, and then I can grab the chest. And this is really weird, I'm not sure what happened right there, but I managed to do this in a single tick, grab the chest and go and grab the bed. And I saw this, I was looking through the task one frame by frame, and I was like, wait, how did that's obviously not possible. I'm like getting an extra tick somehow. I'm cutting out a tick, but that's literally what happened in the raw footage, and I'm not sure what happened, but I'll take it. But, so I grabbed the bed, quitting out of the crafting table and grabbing the bed at the same tick, like a good little Minecraft player, trying to go fast. And yeah, I completely glazed over that. But we made beds. I thought beds weren't going to be used because we don't need to kill the dragon with them anymore. And that's very true, we don't have to kill the dragon with the beds this time. But beds are still going to be useful. In fact, it's the only reason this can go 10 seconds faster than the last task, which was already super improved and super crazy. But yeah, make a bed for later. I'll dupe it a bunch, get there. When I get there, here's all my wood. We don't have any more wood because I duped all of it, which is unfortunate. So we need more wood. We're going to get some more wood in just a half second though. We're going to place that block over here to capitalize. Free extra time on me jumping. I'm going to place my final wool right over there. This wool is super important. This wool that we place right here is the only reason that we can actually light this portal. We're going to use a special way with the beds to light the portals in the nether and whatever, but that doesn't work in the overworld because beds don't blow up in the overworld. And so I have to use some fire spreading tricks. All this lava right there, I'm going to spread it over to this thing right here, so it'll catch on fire and light the portal by myself, all by itself. But to get that lava over here, that's nice and enclosed so that doesn't spread anywhere, we have to do like the most precise trick I've ever seen in the history of Minecraft gaming, because I'm a monumental idiot and I placed a wool block right here. If you didn't hear, this thing is like 360 save states. Half of them are because I did this part right here over and over and over and over again until I could get this thing under 15 seconds. Because it kept on being over by like 0.2 seconds, by 0.1 seconds. It was just absurd. And I wasn't ready to not do it ever again. And so I decided to keep this block there and just do this super precise trick. You have to click right in there, in between ticks, just enough to grab that lava bucket. It's very precise. If I were to go into the game right here, you will see that you can barely see right through there enough to grab a bucket of lava. If I go over here, there, we can grab it. But it's super precise. You can't even be moving forward. You have to have no speed going forward. You have to be just very, very precise. Because yeah, you have to tick perfect because we're just moving so fast, and pretty much angle perfect, very precise. If you're looking just a little bit to the top or whatever, then you mess it all up. And I do this without zooming in at all, because I wanted the task to look nice and not be zooming in. So I don't know, I'm just bragging about this lava because it's super impressive. Lava's weird, you have to be looking at it for like at least one tick in order to pick it up, and you have to be looking down where you want to place it for this to tick, so you'll see me waste a bit of time just kind of looking around and stuff. Just so I can place the lava and not have it ghost me. It like turns into a ghost block or whatever, it doesn't do its thing. It's just finicky. We get the lava there, we finish the portal, and then this lava, which you'll see it just kind of instantly flows out. That's completely my fault, it doesn't affect anything. That's just because between these two areas some time passes in the task that doesn't actually pass, but the lava flows. I don't know. Just intricate stuff of testing Minecraft. So that lava lights the thing on fire, so we can start entering the portal. The portal takes 4 seconds to do its thing, and as you notice, the portal lights at 10.935. That's about 4 seconds before we can actually go to the nether, to when our furnace runs out. And so it was very, very nicely lined up. It took forever. We start breaking this fence. This fence, we're not gonna take a fence. We're just gonna leave the fence to fall. It's actually so we can reach this log. This log is what we need because, as I said, we don't have any wood. We need wood because we need to craft some things later on, and I don't feel like duping for extra wood from there, or whatever. And so we grab another one. Now, of course, we have the 10 seconds to wait, the 10 ticks to wait, sorry. So we can't pick it up instantly, so we place a little obsidian block right here so that it can fall right onto there, so we can pick it up later. We just run backwards and place a chest. Kind of a weird thing to do, but it's super important for later on. So we need to dupe some items. Now, if you were not aware, in this beautiful game, you can actually throw items through a portal. Let's get to that. Really? Interesting? I don't know what that noise is. You can throw items through a portal. Just like anything else, I can go through a portal. Let me go through. There's no portal on this side yet. These portals don't exist yet. And when we go, so when we throw the items through the portals, and it's super stupid, but that's just the way it is. It's super inconvenient. But instead what they do is just multiply the coordinates by 8, just like when you're going through the portal to make a portal. But instead of making a portal, they just teleport to those areas. So we can throw the items in there, and we can go in there and dupe them instantly, because we have 4 seconds to wait. We can throw the items when we first get to the portal, wait the 2 seconds that we have to wait for pick up items again, and then we can get to the nether and dupe them instantly. And that sounds great, and that would work brilliantly if it weren't for the fact that the nether doesn't load, like, at all. So instead what we have to do, okay, let me explain that a bit more. When you throw an item through the portal, it only loads the nether for like 3 ticks. And so we don't get to waste those entire 40 ticks that it takes for an item that you throw on the ground to stop picking up. Like, I throw it on the ground, I have to wait those 2 seconds. I'd still have to wait 2 of those seconds minus 1.15 seconds. It doesn't save any time at all, because we still have to wait that monumental amount of time, because it doesn't load in the nether for any more than 3 ticks. Unfortunate, that's the way it is. And so what we do instead is we place a chest, because if you remember what I said earlier, let me just a second. If I have a chest and I break these blocks, I can pick all those things up in there instantly. I don't have to wait those 2 seconds, or I cannot save my life. Oh boy. Or I don't have to wait the 0.5 seconds. It's just instant. We can pick up those items instantly. So we don't have to worry about those only loading it for 3 ticks, because as soon as they get to the portal, they won't have a delay at all. So I can just throw those items right into the portal. I don't know if that made sense or not. We could dupe them in the portal while we're in the portal, but every time you save and quit or whatever, it resets your portal timer, and so we'd have to wait another extra 4 seconds. So what I do, I put the items in the chest, which is another thing to note. GUIs and inventories and whatever, you can't open them while you're in a portal, normally. There's a way to, though. If I were to place this right here, you'll notice no matter how much I click on it, I just can't open it. That's because there's a block. Because I don't know what I'm talking about. You can open it normally, just fine, but if you go into the portal, you'll see that we can't actually open it. Open it, we didn't. To slow the game down, though. It's kind of slow. Maybe a bit too slow. There is a very, very small window where you can actually put things into the chest. This is forged, so it's not perfect. Typically, you'd see like one frame of the chest, just like this, but in real motion. You have less than a tick. See, I moved that block over a bit. You have less than a tick to place your item into that chest. It's like literally a frame perfect trick. The only frame perfect trick that I've ever come across in Minecraft is that, where you have, because it closes you out immediately, you can have less than a tick to put your item into that chest. So I do that 3 times to get those items into there, and then I break the chest so that all those items, when they fall out, I don't pick them up. That's why I'm pushed up against the thing, so these items don't get into me. They just kind of flow into the portal, and they get their coordinates multiplied by 8 and put into the nether. I go over here, I pick up the chest, hit the villager for good measure, and I continue on my day, with my day, because I successfully got those items into the nether, so I can dupe them as soon as I enter the nether. Now it's set up another glitch. We're still waiting for our furnace. It's almost ready. In fact, we're almost going to go through the portal to pick up this lava. This lava is super important for a trick later, and it's the whole reason that I get the lava in the 38 task, because we have flint and steel, we can still light portals just fine, but I still grab this lava. This lava is here because I'm going to actually break the portal as soon as I go in it. You'll see right here, I place the lava. This is the same tick that I enter the portal. Another weird black bar because so I grab the lava, I grab the glass out here using that same trick that I was talking about earlier with the chest, where I can have 1 tick to move items around. I have 1 tick to grab this glass out of there, so I use that 1 tick to grab that glass out. And as you can notice, very nicely notice, boom, very last second, I place that lava. What that does is, it's the same thing as breaking a piece of the glass portal as soon as I go in there in creative mode. Like, I can go like that, oops, and break the portal at the same time. If I can do it right, come back through. Seems like a really weird thing to do, and it is a weird thing to do, but there's a glitch that I do just like 2 seconds later that requires there to be no portals anywhere near this portal, or anywhere. There can't be anywhere near this place in the overworld. There can't be any portals nearby here, so I break all of them just by going that when I go through. But just know that there's no portals in the overworld. Come out of here, and I pick up those items that I was talking about earlier when I threw them through the chest. They should be right here. You can see them, I'm duping them. The log fell first, which could be problematic, but it's not, because I don't need to dupe the log at all. I just need 1 log. These 2 pick up at the same time. I dupe them, I dupe a bunch of beds. You can't see the beds because they're in my inventory, but you'll see that I dupe some obsidian. I'll probably dupe 2 more times I needed to right here. So theoretically, they probably save like 0.1 seconds on the task, but it's sub 30, I'm happy, you're happy, we can all be happy. And now, like I said earlier, with maximizing my jumps, I place those there. And you'll also notice these endermen right here, because we use ender pearls in this task quite a bit, because ender pearls are really fast to move around. You can throw them and they go 1.5 blocks every tick. That's like 30 blocks a second. Or if you can accelerate them faster using some crazy means that I'll talk about in a minute. But ender pearls are crazy good. They can do so many things. They move so fast. They're just amazing. And so I stare at these endermen, This is like one of the hardest parts of the task, by the way. We're staring at Enderman. I'm building this little block so I can go over there. I place a bed and start building a portal. Now, these Endermen, you have to be staring at Enderman until you get them to run at you. That's what I'm doing right here. From this point right here to this point in the task right here. So this frame 955 to the frame right 940. That's how long it takes you to stare at an Enderman. I need to be staring at that Enderman those entire times, so that when I look away right now, I can place this block here without the Enderman deciding to not come at me. So I do that, and I place the bed there. The bed is the setup later. I'll talk about that in a second. Go on and build the rest of that little thing so I can jump, and I start building a portal. This is where the torches come in handy, where I said I grab the torches and I dipped them a bunch for a trick later. This is that trick where you can place a torch on the obsidian and you can place a block of obsidian on that torch, so that we can place it up there without having to jump again. Because when you jump in Minecraft, you have to jump like this and then like this, and that's slow. You really want to jump like this, so it's faster. When I'm building the portal, and I jump right here, I can't quite reach up there to place the blocks like this, and that's unfortunate because you need to place those blocks in order to make a whole portal. And so what I do is I place a block just like that. Like that. So as you can see, the top of the torch is right here, and the top of the obsidian is over here. If at the height of my jump, I can reach the top of, let's see if I can emulate the top of a, you see right here, I can touch the top of this thing enough to place a block above it, but I cannot reach up here, because you just don't jump high enough. And so I just use that to place a block right. Let's see if I can't do this. Okay, I can't do it. But you can place a block like that. That's the trick. That's the whole trick. That's all it is. It just saves you have to jump again. That's all it does. Finish the whole thing. I don't break the torch. The torch will be broken by itself in a second. And I put some more items in this chest. This is that chest from earlier. I'm doing the same thing again because I need to dupe this glass. I couldn't dupe it in the overworld because it was still cooking, and I can't throw it into the portal because it doesn't finish until the portal's done, taking me to the nether. So I just put it into here. I put some beds into my inventory, as you can see, and I turn around and blow up the bed. That's literally what happens. Typically there'd be like a tick in between there, but because of the fact that I just turned around and did it at the later half of the tick, it just doesn't show. In the meantime, there's Endermen over here, you can see them, they're dying. That bed blows up. All the fire that it placed, it's actually enough to light the portal. It also breaks the bed, the torch, I mean. By the explosion breaks the torch and then places that fire right there. I save and quit so I don't get all the push of it. It's also this obsidian right here kind of saves me from it. But I save and quit so I don't take any damage, I don't go flying. Whole invincibility thing. Basically, whenever you reload the game, you get 3 seconds of invincibility. I save state so often, I don't take any damage in this task at all. But I do kill those guys. They drop their things. I'm over here, so I don't pick them up. Because this glass can pick up as soon as I get close enough to it. These pearls I still have to wait 10 ticks. So that once I can pick up those pearls, I pick up the glass at the same time. Because we have 2 pearls here from the 2 Endermen that I looked at. If every dupe gives me 1 glass and 2 pearls. Pearls I need quite a bit of. I need them to move, and I also need 12 of them to fill out the entire portal at the end of the game. And so I duped to 20. Which takes 10 ticks. Originally I was just doing 1 pearl, but that took an extra 10 ticks, and that's a whole half second, and it just wasn't working out. And so we do the 2 Endermen at once. Then I swap out some things. I put the pearls in my offhand. That's really important. And I select my iron axe. This is that glitch that I was talking about earlier, where you throw a pearl into a portal, and it does a really cool thing, where earlier when I was talking about you throw an item through a portal and it multiplies the coordinates by 8. If you throw a ender pearl or any projectile into a portal, it does the same thing with the multiply by 8 thing if you're in the nether. But it doesn't actually put them into the overworld at all, because of whatever reason. Instead, it just multiplies it by 8, and doesn't transfer it to the overworld. That's all it does. And that's important, because... sorry. I've never talked this much, and my throat is killing me. It's Ender Pearl. It goes over here. It gets multiplied by 8. If I were to look at my coordinates when I'm standing right here, we have 24, 70, and negative 2-ish, negative 3-ish. It moves a whole block and a half. I mean, I throw the pearl right over here. It moves a block and a half, moves a block and a half, so it ends up over here. So if I were to go over here, you'll notice that my coordinates are negative 24, or 24, 69, nice, negative 3. If you multiply those by 8, TP at P, 24 times 8 is like 190? I don't know. 69, and then negative 24. These are the coordinates the pearl ends up at. And because pearls teleport you to wherever they are, we get teleported over there too. Where's this place, you may ask? Oh, right here. If you notice, if you go here, go to that pearl, we end up right over here. Super cool, super convenient. That's why we build a whole other portal instead of using the portal that we have over there. Yeah, the original portal. We don't use this portal over here because even with the best case scenario, we can get over it here with whatever this is, 74 or something, I don't know, I can't do math. And then we would get 4 times 8 is 32. It just doesn't work out. That's why we don't use the normal portal. We make a new portal. Those are probably horrible math. I can't do math in my head to save my life. Because I'm an ignorant American child. Okay. So we make this whole nother portal to do that, right? Through the pearl. And so we get teleported over there. I might even be able to... show you this if I give myself some other pearls. More than that. Boom. You can do that. That's just what happens. But remember that I said I need to have no portals in the overworld for that to work. And this is... why does this happen? I can't tell you without ending up being horribly wrong. I am not the most intelligent person. Instead of sending it to its coordinates times 8, it just doesn't do anything. You see, you'll notice that it just doesn't. Oops. This isn't working anymore. It just doesn't do anything. The port in the overworld needs to be conflicting with this portal, and it just doesn't work. Unfortunate, but that's why we do the whole lava thing. But anyway, at this point, we're more than halfway through the task. We're getting there. It's like, what, been 47 minutes? We're getting there. We go up at the pass, right to the task, and we can see that we end up over here in this weird place, and I spawn like right over here. I'm not sure where exactly, but I fall down like right about here. And you would think, if we're trying to go as fast as possible, why don't we end up landing over here? There's definitely an area and a formation that can build the portal to land right over here, but I choose not to do that. And that's because when we end up over here, these are all chunks, 16 by 16 areas, all these chunks. We come out, we're over here. We never go over here at all, we're stuck in this chunk. And mobs can only spawn like 7 chunks out from here. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the only place where you're going to find mobs. You won't find any mobs spawning over there. Why is that an issue? That shouldn't be an issue, right? Because we go over there, and once we teleport over here, these mobs should be able to spawn. The issue is, mobs only spawn when they're more than 24 blocks. If there's more than 24 blocks between the player and where they're trying to spawn, if I'm standing right here, there's never going to be any mob spawning within here or there. They have to be more than 24 blocks away. That's just the way it is. And that's also why, if we come over here, why these Endermen spawn over here instead of right next to me where I want them to be, because this is as close as you can get without being closer than 24 blocks, where they won't conflict or whatever. And that's just a little bit of Minecraft trivia for you. I'm not sure how correct that is. That's just what I know and what I've found based on my experiments. So we go over here, so that 24 blocks away is just enough for these. This is about 24 blocks away. We spawn in the ceiling, so it's still pretty nice. The gas can spawn right here, the blazes spawn right here, because they're 24 blocks away, and that's cool stuff. So, this axe and the sword, I put the axe in my hand. Why did I put the axe in my hand? So I can wait for it to recharge. And because you need a second and like 1.25 seconds, I think it is, for a axe to charge. You see, it takes quite a while. If I were to get a sword, you'll see it's much quicker. With a sword, you see very fast, slow, fast, slow. So I choose the axe because it does 9 attack damage. A critical hit from an axe does like, what's half a 9? 4 plus, it does like 13 damage, 13, 14 damage. In a single hit. That's really great. That means you can double hit a blaze with that, because blazes have 20 health. There's 14, and there's, oops. Yeah, I can turn off those chunks. There's 14, and there's another 9. That's enough to kill you. Here's a blaze. Here's a critical hit from that. Here's another critical hit. It's still not enough, because this only does 6.5. It only does like 9 damage. 9 damage is only enough to triple hit a blaze. I mean, you can use your fist, but you still have to wait those 2 whole critical hits, and then 2 more hits, or 1 more hit. And you have 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. That's 3 seconds you have to wait. Completely unacceptable. So instead, we wait for this to charge, so we can do 1 critical hit, and then we can wait for the charge to go again, we can do another critical hit. That's 2 critical hits. It's okay that this axe takes longer to load because we have that kind of time. While I'm waiting for this pearl to throw, because I have to wait for those guys. So I'm far enough to dupe those guys, not to dupe, to spawn those guys. I'm doing stuff in my inventory. This is enough time where I can wait and have that recharge. So I can go over there and critical hit that blaze. All I'm doing in my inventory is just grabbing an extra crafting table, because like I said, that's why we got the log earlier. I'm just doing that. Rearranging my inventory so I have all the beds, quick, easy access. Rearranging some pearls I think I'm doing. No, I don't think I rearrange pearls. Nope, I don't rearrange any pearls this time. I just do that stuff. Gets nice, simplified inventory, so everything's all nice. And I attack that. And I was going to talk about something. What was I going to talk about? Heck. Shoot. I lost my train of thought. Ah, yes. Okay, so that little bar right under my thing right here, and whenever I do that, you'll notice that little thing goes over. That thing tells me how much more I have to recharge. This is pretty accurate. If I were to have blocks in my offhand, however, if I go like that and I place a block while that's recharging, it actually resets the little charging thing. So even though it keeps on going normally, placing those blocks resets it. And so I can't do it a critical hit, like you would expect. I do that, like, boom. You know, see, it doesn't critical hit at all, because it's recharging. It doesn't show that it's recharging, but it's recharging. See, it just doesn't do a critical hit. If I were to let it recharge and not place a block, it does do a critical hit, because I'm not resetting it by placing a block. That doesn't happen with pearls, fortunately. That's super nice. I was really worried that was going to happen. I ran into this issue with the 38 task, where I was building the portal with the axe in one hand, city in the other, and I just couldn't critical hit the Enderman, and I was super confused. It took me forever to realize why. But that's why. This game is horribly programmed, that's why. But I can throw a pearl and still do a critical hit just fine. Super easy, super nice. You also notice right there that I did that without even jumping. Because when you throw a pearl, you don't get teleported to wherever it lands. You get teleported to wherever it took before it lands. Pearls teleport you whenever the little center of them enters a block, and they teleport you to wherever they were the tick before that happens. And so most of the time, you'll be in the air when that happens. You see, I'm floating in the air. Even though the pearl lands, we do not end up on the ground. So when I go like this, you'll see I just fall a little bit of a fall. That fall is just enough to do a critical hit. And so it's not because I'm jumping all weird when I... Come on. It's not because I do the weird little jump before I land the pearl. It's just because that happens. See, I'm a little bit in the air, so I'm falling a little bit. I can critical hit the blaze. Quickly switch to my sword. You can actually switch to your sword and hit the blaze at the same time, and you still do the actual critical hit, and it's super cool. Gives me an extra tick. Go over here. I don't have to be falling, but I am falling. I hit the blaze to kill it off, so I'm waiting the 10 ticks for the blaze rod to fall. I'm doing that. I shoot this fireball back at the ghast. It drops the thing. I throw another pearl. This pearl is to teleport me over here, so I can start building the final portal in the final nether portal. And you'll see all these things going crazy. That's just I'm using a mod to emulate the duping glitch, because Forge doesn't actually let you dupe, because it's weird like that. And as an artifact of the thing, the mod thinks Scribble, it makes my life so much easier. It just looks funny. It doesn't actually change anything. So yeah, I'm duping all these things. These things are close enough to get me. These things are close enough to get to me. But because I'm duping before their 10 ticks are up, I don't actually get to pick them up at all. And so they're just flying around having a good time over there. I'm doing my thing. So with the final little bit of that, I stop duping. You can't really tell, but there aren't any dupes happening right through here. That's enough time for this timer to run out, and so I can pick up the ghast here. I pick up all 7 of these, and then the pearl lands, and I get teleported over here. Right then, I switch the pearls over from my offhand. I don't remember exactly why I do that, but I do that. And then I start building the final portal, 1 block at a time. Now, there's something funny about this portal, and it's not just the fact that I do that same cool trick with the obsidian, which saves so much time. You can build a portal in less than a second with that trick. Let's see if I can just play that normal speed real quick, wherever we are. Boom. That's building a portal, just like that. That's absolutely insane. If you compare that to any portal in any other game, that's a standstill portal without any wall or anything, just like that. And it makes me happy. I'm not sure if it makes you happy, but it makes me happy. Build that portal. Do the same thing with the bed. You'll notice that this bed is kind of in a weird position. Like, it's laying like this long ways on the portal, even though when I look down and place it, right here, I'm looking this way. That's because, like with a lot of things in this game, it likes to take wherever you were in the tick before and use it in this tick. So when I place this bed, the tick before I was looking right here. And so it thinks I'm still looking that way, and it places the bed like that. Same thing with ender pearls. If I'm looking in one direction, I can probably do this example for you. Let's see, I'm looking in this direction. For 1 tick, I'll turn around and go like this. And you'll see the... oh, dang it. 0.5. Looking in this direction. See, I'm looking in this direction for this tick, and then I turn around and throw the pearl. Wait. Wait for that cooldown. I apologize. I don't have any of this scripted, I'm just going off on the tangents. So I'm looking over there, I throw the thing, and you see it goes that way, because that's where I was looking the tick before. Kinda wonky, kinda weird. Makes things super difficult when I'm playing in 1/40th the speed, where a single tick is 2 seconds, so I have to be looking in one direction for more than 2 seconds for it to work. Super crazy. I don't know when I'm doing time. It's just the way it works. Yeah. So I do the bad thing, I blow it up. You'll notice that I don't get blown away by the explosion at all, because I do the save and quit, where I blow up the bed. Normally, a bed will give you a bunch of directional momentum like that. I go flying. I avoid that by going like this, reloading, and it kills all my momentum, and I just fall straight down. That's a lot of lag. I just fall straight down. Just a little trick. Now, the cool thing about this portal right here is I build it right here. This portal that you see that's actually a portal, this is the portal that I build in the test. This is literally the save file that I used for the test. Typically, in any other area, you'd build the portal where this fake portal is. And that's because if you try to go in this portal over here, it sends you to a different place. You have to be in this block, these 2 blocks right here. These are only 2 blocks in this whole area. I think some of them over here do too. But these are the only 2 blocks that send you right to the correct area in the stronghold. I'm just playing around here with my inventory, just doing some random stuff, crouching around. So I end up here. So you'll see I end up right here in the stronghold. That's really convenient, super close, super nice. But it's a bit weird. If I were to go in here, I think I still have a portal active over here. Don't mind the fact this thing is completely corrupted. I accidentally did some things. But if you're not in that block where the normal portal is, not where the one I built in this place, but the normal portal, you end up over here. And then you'd have to go all the way over here and through the whatever and over and all the way over here just to get to this place. And that's super slow and that's super annoying. We don't want to do that. That's why you would normally build the block 1 block over. You have to be in this block right here. That's pretty much the only way. And so what I do is I stand right over here so that part of me is in this block and the other part of me is in this block. What that does is it lets me be in the portal but also in this block at the same time. So my real coordinates are where that fire block is. Right there where my crosshair is. But I'm still partially, my hitbox is still partially in the portal block, so that this portal can still teleport me when I'm standing over here. That's just what I do so I can end up in the correct spot. This portal, even though I try to save time by building it 1 block to the right there, so I have to go all the way over here, I could have actually done better and built it right here. And it would still give me the same effect if I were to go right over here. So that's just a little tidbit of information. But come out of here, I throw a pearl. If you didn't know, I jump up and throw the pearl. This is where we start getting all of the technical movement thing. Not really that technical, but more advanced movement. I jump before I do that because the player's momentum is actually transferred into the pearl whenever you throw one. So if I were to be standing right here, and I throw a pearl straight up, see it goes up there, and it falls back down, just as you'd expect it to. Super nice like that. But things change if my momentum is super falling downwards. When I throw a pearl, you'll see that just goes straight down. Because your momentum of the player gets added to the momentum of the pearl. So what I do is I jump to give myself that little speed boost and that little momentum, so that when I throw the pearl, my momentum gets added to the pearl. Because if you didn't know, if you're just walking around like this, you don't have any momentum at all. There's no velocity on your player at all until you jump, which is weird, but that's just the way it is. I don't know how it works. All I know is that it works. So we do that in order to end up in the correct area. Just so we can move a little bit faster, a few ticks extra. Whatever, I don't know. Just little stuff, fun stuff. I go over here, I use this place right over here again to grab some blaze powder, and then I grab my offender. To do that, that pearl hits the pearl that I threw, it lands right over here where my crosshair is. I fall down because of that whole tick before thing, falling down. I fill in the thing, and I place the crafting table that I made earlier. You also notice that once I make these Eyes of Ender, I get this recipe for all those things. You can't see it because the whole thing's going super fast because the mod doesn't slow that down. But I actually get the end crystal recipe there too. I have to make it by hand, essentially. I don't know what I was going on about. So what I do is I just make them beforehand, so when I'm falling down, I'll just save a bit of time. So I can craft them right from there, and with 1 tick, instead of the tick to pick up the glass and place it around, that's 2 ticks. A tick to place this thing, a tick to place that, to place this, to grab it, that's 5 ticks. For this, we only need 1, 2. Super cool. And I go right back out, and I start placing the rest of the eyes, and then we're in the end. This already being moved is fine. That's just little artifacts for the fact that we're speeding up the video so fast. Place the crystal. Placing the crystal in this game is... yeah, I basically completely forgot to mention this. This crystal, the whole thing that I was going on about how I was making it in that completely nonsensical rant. This crystal is how you skip the dragon. There's been plenty of videos made about it, but if I were to go in the portal, there's going to be an ender dragon. That's the way the game works. There's a dragon. Let's see if I can make a new world real quick. Go in the portal, you have to kill the dragon in order to spawn the end portal. The portal's already there, but it's just bedrock and there's nothing inside of it. And when you kill the dragon, it fills up with the end portal. And there's nothing. It's all filled up. I can't go through the portal until I kill the dragon. This is cheating, I know. There, kill the dragon. It does its little animation. It's all pretty, beautiful. Wahoo. And then, once it's done with that, wait for that whole... don't worry about that. That's just... yeah, anyway. Then the thing pulls up and then we can go in there and play the credits. Now, we don't have to wait for that whole animation and to kill the dragon. That's just super slow. Super whatever. I don't want to deal with that. So what we do, we place the end crystal. This end crystal, there's like this bit of code or whatever. I don't know how it works. I'm not a super fancy people. But apparently, you place down the crystal, and it runs some code that tries to convert your 1.8 world to your 1.9 world by checking if there's a dragon there, and if there's a portal. If there's not a dragon in the, it's pretty weird, but it checks to see if there's a 1.9 portal. That thing in the center, that was there before the dragon died, that's the portal. It checks if that's there. If it isn't there, and there isn't a dragon, then it decides, hey, then we should put a filled portal there because somehow this dragon has been defeated, and there's not a 1.9 portal, so this must be in 1.8 world where the dragon has previously been defeated. So it puts a portal there. But we do it so fast that the dragon hasn't loaded in yet, and the portal hasn't loaded in yet. There's like 5 ticks of time where you don't have any of that. And so the thing's like, oh, this must be 1.8 world. 1.8 world. So let's put the portal there, and it does that. And we end up with no portal. We end up with this. Yeah, no dragon. That's basically how we skip the dragon, using that thing, the crystal. That's why we get the glass in the beginning. That's why we get the Eyes of Ender, the extra one. And that's why we get the tear. And all that crazy stuff. It's a load of fun. So, we then throw a pearl, and you'll see me blow up the crystal. This is because I do the double jump so I get the extra momentum on the pearl, and then I break the crystal because it's an explosion, like the biggest explosion in the game I think that you can get, like it has the wither or whatever. It might even be even, but it boosts the pearl so it goes even faster. And I think it goes like 50 blocks a second. It can go up to 50 blocks a second. It's pretty fast. Then we teleport over here. I save state like right here. You can actually place a bed, or any block really, the same tick that you teleport over. That's why I'm looking right over here. Go, place the bed. Save state. Place the thing over here. Throw another pearl. So otherwise, this pearl cooldown, you probably noticed this a little bit through the task. I'll throw another pearl before it's even done. By saving and quitting, you can literally reset that. Super easy, super fun, you can do it yourself. So I do that to throw a pearl instantly, and then I use beds for the rest of this to boost the pearl. You can see it just kind of going in its one trajectory, like pew, and then it goes pow, and just goes off into the distance. Very beautiful, very majestic, and then just gives it an extra boost. It goes about 40 blocks a second instead of 30, which is literally the only reason why this is sub 30. I can say about anything. Like, you don't do anything that I do in this task and it just goes over the 30 seconds. You need everything, and it's super precise. Do that twice. You can even see the save state loading in. I throw another pearl, do the same thing. You can see it change trajectory, going all fast. And then I just play around, break the rest of my beds, and then the task is over. I don't have the end credits put on this file, but that's all the task. That's the entire task. We just did it. That's it. We're done. There. Minecraft explaining the task speedrun in 1 hour and 10 minutes, and my voice hurts really bad. Boom, see that? I just boosted that portal. That's basically what we do. I don't know, more precise, whatever. But yeah, that's what happens. That's the task. That's Minecraft beaten in 30 seconds. There's a lot to go on. I hope I explained it at least semi-okayly. This was kind of spur of the moment kind of explanation. Didn't script anything, so it's probably a bit weird. But that's Minecraft beaten in 30 seconds. I hope you appreciate this task. It took hundreds of hours. I've been working on this since August. Since I released the 38, I've been working on that one since like the beginning of August. It's a lot of fun to make. It's very stressful, but it's very fun. Crazy to see the whole game beat this fast. Thank you for all the support for it, I guess that's the word, I don't know. But 5,000 views in 2 days, I've never had any sort of that support. Or just views on a video. Even when Dinnerbone tweeted out the How Do We Get Here task, that didn't even get that many views that fast. And this is already one of my most viewed videos. I'm super happy about that. Thank you so much. Share it with your friends. I don't know. That's what you say with a video, right? Yeah, this is how you do it. This is how I did it. This is the whole video. It's crazy. And thanks.